Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Boogie and I am here to review I know it's an old movie, but I actually watched it for the first time. I've never seen it before besides this time. And it's nothing wrong to review it. I mean, it's still an old movie, and it's still a movie to date. So, and Halloween's coming around the corner, so I figured, hey, Boogeyman better come out and speak his words on his opinions of this movie. So Halloween H20. Now, I really took a look at it because I heard it's a good Halloween movie, and I'm really all about Michael Myers this Halloween. I mean, look, I even have realistic Halloween Michael Myers kitchenette. But this movie really is not that good, and I'll be reviewing it and why. So, at the beginning of the movie, I guess there's a pumpkin that gets stabbed, which is kind of really stupid because it's, I don't know, trying to give a call back maybe to the beginning credits of 2, where it had the pumpkin and 1, but it just really doesn't work. It's dumb and stupid. And then it's this lady who ends up thinking that her house was robbed or whatever, and she has 2 kids. I don't know if they're neighbors or whatever. That doesn't really matter because these characters have nothing to do with, because obviously they're characters that are going to die at the beginning of the movie, so who cares anyway, right? So they go in, the guy checks the house, says it's fine, which we know it's not fine, but that's what he thinks. And then next thing you know, he walks out and the place is trash. He goes in, locks the door's open the next minute. She walks back in and Michael Myers is in the house, and there was a file with Laurie Strode where it's missing, and they had flashbacks to the original. Really doesn't make any sense why they had the flashbacks. And then Michael kills the lady, and it turns out that was one of Dr. Loomis's nurses, and Dr. Loomis and the nurse are never mentioned again for the rest of this movie, so they literally had no point in bringing them up. Writing. So I don't understand. I guess the point was to show that Michael got the file, and then not to mention Michael Myers apparently just drives all around and away from police crime scene, so he can drive. I mean, that wasn't a joke enough in the first one. They made it way more obvious in this one. And then the next scene, you get this mom with their little girl in the bathroom. And I guess Michael Myers needs a new car because the old one wasn't good enough, because maybe the cops caught it back at the police spot, the crime scene. I mean, there's no explanation for why he even needed a new car. But he got one. I mean, he completely stole the lady's car. I mean, that was successful, I guess. But I'm just really scratching my head on why was that an important part of the scene. But not to mention we go to Laurie, who now has a son. And 20 years later, after being 17, 18, she had to be pretty, young. She'd have to have a kid at, 18 for him to be 17. I mean, you can do the math. She's probably 21, so she probably didn't really live up in years before she had a kid. 30 is maybe it, but she just really didn't want to wait, I guess. So she had her kid, which they never mentioned the dad, which might actually be an important plot character device that might actually make us feel something for the characters. But no, we basically see that her own son is kind of a douche to her, so you don't really care for him in the end. I mean, you're supposed to feel something for these characters, but they don't waste too much time in getting involved with the characters. It's also a very short movie. And I gotta mention one little detail that really makes me really upset with this entire movie, that I really feels like a downfall because it's such an iconic thing in Halloween movies, is there is no iconic Halloween music. It's all generic horror movie music, and I always loved Michael Myers for the music that was in it. I mean, it's phenomenal, it's been great, but there was literally no music in this. Resurrection actually does better in that than this movie does, and that's sad because Resurrection shouldn't have ever been made, but yet it still out-tops this one. It's insane, really. I mean, and I guess Michael Myers, there's not a lot of killing in this one. I mean, yeah. So he basically, and so besides the music, which is really frustrating because that is such a lack of potential that they had in the movie that they just didn't go with. Why would you not go with something that was so potentially great? Just disappointing. So then I guess he ends up stalking the buses. Somehow he knew where she was, probably from the file. I guess the nurse kept updates on where Laurie Strode was. And I guess Michael's now smart enough to read and stuff, so I guess he can just do whatever he wants. I mean, he's been in an asylum since he was a child, but it makes sense that he can drive and read and everything else. I guess someone was teaching him something, I'm not exactly sure. But yeah. So after the incident of him stealing a car, Laurie Strode gets in a fight with this kid after they're planning a party because they don't want to go camping because it will be boring. Oh, but nothing can happen. But conveniently enough, this flip out and argument happens on the convenient Halloween day that they don't think that Michael is coming, but then Michael is coming. Yeah. Instead of the son being supportive and maybe trying to help the mother, he's just a complete douche all around and says that the mom's crazy and everyone thinks this and that and she's all worried and doesn't think Michael Myers is dead. Turns out she's kind of right, but anyway, he stalks him and then gets to the gate, and then the guy who does the gate, basically, none of the stuff between there and then in this movie doesn't really matter. I mean, what ends up happening is they end up going, some kids go to the camp, and then the son and his girlfriend and his friend and his friend's girlfriend end up staying at the camp. It couldn't just be so that they can die, to throw in some extra kills in the movie. This storyline writing is really bad, and the dialogue really is not getting me into the movie. It was lazy and really boring and obvious and very obvious. This whole movie was obvious. And it was just a big joke. It was boring and broad, and you knew what was coming when it was coming, and it was just why. So then, the kids are planning to bang, which surprisingly enough, I gotta give this movie credit. The first horror movie I've probably ever seen like this that had no sex in it. I mean, that was absolutely shocking. But, I mean, they were going to, but, you know, they weren't in it, and then he came over and stabbed, but, Then the next thing you know is, I guess they're partying, but Michael Myers stuck in to the security guard and he stalked him a little bit after he closed the gate, questioning why the car was there. He opened the gate, which really I question, why would you open the gate? Why wouldn't you leave that shut? Aren't you security? That seems like a pretty bad job if that's your job, is to close the gate, to leave the gate closed. But anyway, then Michael Myers decides to stalk him, I guess, and then not kill him because he just wanted to see him talk to the girl on the phone and then cut it off. I was really confused why he stalked him for literally no reason but just to stalk him. What? He stalks him, and usually that means that he ends up killing him or a little jump scare. But no, he just doesn't kill him because I guess Michael Myers says, I don't feel like doing that today, so another time. Yeah. And then he kind of goes on his way to Laurie sees him and then blink, blink, blink. Which, not to mention, Laurie has a lover, I guess, in this movie, which doesn't make any sense. Once again, this is the dad of the... What does it matter? The characters will just die at some point. So then, I guess that Michael Myers ends up going after the kids at the party. I mean, he spends so much time killing these other people that are completely useless instead of going after Laurie, which I really just don't get. Isn't Laurie your main objective because your only goal is to kill your sister? What are the other people partying doing and stopping you from killing your sister? That's more of like a Jason Voorhees thing. You're not Jason Voorhees. But anyway, he goes off and kills the one guy who dropped the corkscrew in the strain, which I guess that was another off-kill camera kill. Then you got the other girl, who was his girlfriend, another off-camera kill. And then after that, the other two find the bodies, and they run from Michael Myers. They get out of the house and go to where Laurie is. Oh no, I don't know what's gonna happen. And Laurie looks him in the eyes with a gun, and then next thing is I'm pretty sure that they were worried, so the dude stuck around and figured out that Laurie's the brother of Michael Myers, and his boyfriend, and Laurie's boyfriend's like, oh, I'll stay because I love you, and it was just really bad. And throughout this whole time of appearance of Michael Myers, still no Michael Myers music once in the whole movie. Really disappointment. Really a lack of potential in the characters. But anyway. Okay. Now, the security guard ends up coming out and gets shot by the wonderful boyfriend. And for some reason, I guess Laurie, whenever he goes over to examine her body, just had to get all of his blood on his hand. I guess she was checking to see if that was real blood, but I guess in movie logic it'd be fake, but it's supposed to be, we're supposed to think that the movie we're watching is actual realistically or something, so we'll just say it was real blood, but I guess she just really wanted to check it with her hand. I really don't know why she touched his blood. I'm really just questioning that scene. But then the next scene is she tries to hide, and Michael finds her because of the blood on her hand. Good writing. We need a reason for Jason to find her. Ooh, let's make her touch the blood of the security guard that shot. Which I'm pretty sure the boyfriend died. But it doesn't matter, because that's like the rest of the kills for the whole movie. Because the rest of the time is Laurie just getting chased, but having the balls to stand up to Michael Myers, which really is not what you want to see in a horror movie. Horror movie, you want to see the defenseless survivor trying to run away, not fight back, because fighting back, yeah, that's what we'd all do, but it really makes for a really damn boring film and not entertaining at all, and not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see people get slaughtered by Michael Myers, and this movie really lacks in that, because throughout this whole movie, everything I'll explain up to this point, only literally like 3 people have died. And they were all off-camera kills. One was on camera, my bad. One was on camera. The nurse died. That was it. The beginning of the movie is probably the best part of the whole movie. Before she started driving. And then, she drives off with the guy, her son, but he tells her son to go. And might I mention, the son has not said once, sorry for being a douchebag, Mom. It turns out you're right. Michael Myers came to kill us. Yeah. Anyway. So she tells them to drive off, and they leave and go to the other dude's house and get the cops coming. And she stays and she fights. And I guess she takes him down with a couple swings from the axe. Which really kind of doesn't make that much sense to me, because the man's been shot with guns and got up and walked away. But somehow that axe and everything she's using just does that right bit of damage. And then I guess the cops come, but she points the gun at the cops, which is completely a smart idea. I mean, there was a whole team there, but they were all worried. Oh goodness. So she drives off with Michael Myers. It turns out he was still alive, because the security guard, by the way, who got shot, which really didn't die, came over and I guess helped her not kill Michael Myers. Sorry, I deserve to be punished for that. Thank you. I have another Nightmare on Elm Street reference. So then, he wakes up, and she crashes him out of the car, and walks up to Michael, because I guess he's stuck on a tree, and slices off his head, axe, boom, end of the movie, millions of dollars. This movie was probably the biggest disappointment I've ever seen in a horror movie ever in my entire life. This movie was literally throw-up garbage. I don't know why this thing exists. I don't know why it's claimed to be good, because this is literally god-awful. I've seen movies where they literally you can see stuff in the corners and actually like see how the movie was made, but they messed up on it, and those are better than movies like this. This movie didn't do right. They tried to bring back Lori. There was so much lack of iconic. It was just some dude. This felt like a whole fan-made movie to me that just was trash, scrapped, but it was still uploaded to YouTube, and you're still watching it. I mean, this thing was literally terrible. I don't know who came up with it, but my God, fix your horror movies. It was bad. This movie gets a 0, no, negative 1,000 out of 10 on my idea of movies and verdicts. Okay? I mean, there was so much lack. The story didn't make sense. It was sloppy. It felt like it was pushed out fast. The son is never seen again. I guess he lives. Laurie lives. Michael Myers is dead. Somehow a swing of an axe killed him when he literally takes guns all the time to the face. And literally nothing. But I guess one swing from an axe at his head just killed him. Decapitated him. That's it. That's the end of the story. What a damn cop-out. What a sad and stupid ending, in my opinion, to this franchise. I mean, I feel like it ended there. Resurrection doesn't count, but Resurrection is way better than this crap. I'm sorry. I know Resurrection reminds me a lot of Scream, but Scream and kind of another one mixed, but it was a lot better than this. Enough said. This movie was bad. That's what I think of it. A lot of the story was written sloppily. The dialogue, the fact that I didn't feel anything for the characters, there was so much lack, and it's just not a good movie, and it falls hard. Halloween 3 was better than this. I've actually seen the clips of Halloween 3, and I really think that this plot of Halloween 3 was better than this itself. Okay, thank you for watching this video. I am a boogeyman, and subscribe to Brock Kevin's channel. And if you want more horror movie reviews, I'll be sure to do more in the future, because this is a brand new series brought to you by Brock Kavanaugh. Thank you for watching this, and let me know what you thought about Halloween H20 in the comments below, and make sure that you watch the actual good Halloween series movies and since Halloween's coming, make sure you check them out. Thank you for watching the video. That does it for me. I'm out of here. If you don't know what to comment Boogeyman is awesome in the comments below. Peace. I'm out of here. That does it for me.
Disclaimer, I do not own any of the music or pictures in this video, and sometimes video in this video. All rights go to the makers. I don't claim any of these rights as mine.